I'm Linda Hartman. I am the other water clerk. I've been at the City of Streetsboro for going on 6 years now.
Hi, my name is Katie Harrison. I am the Water Billing Administrator. I have been with the city since 2008, but I have been in the water department since 2021. So we get our water from Portage County, we purchase it, and then distribute it to the City of Streetsboro. We do have a couple outstanding areas of Hudson, Kent, but mostly it is Streetsboro. It's just the system, it didn't work as well, and every time we would do billing, because we only do quarterly, we would do our meter reads and then pull them over, and it's just, we had meters that weren't reading, they weren't picking up the signal, they were broken because they were old, they were going reverse. It was just a lot of issues every time we billed. We had water work orders out the wazoo, so it was more hectic. And then when we were trying to do billing, we had people with high bills, so we had to put work orders in for that to investigate what was going on there. It was crazy. And then when people would get their bills, they would be calling us screaming because they have a high water bill, and it was rough.
Billing quarterly, there's not a lot of control that you have over what happens during the 3 months. And so you put out your quarterly bill, and then all of a sudden you've got phone calls because why is my bill high? What happened?
Another driver was the water loss. We were over 20% in water loss, and now we are down to single digits, which is amazing.
The biggest thing we deal with is phone calls, customers. And we're finding that because we're being proactive about the alerts that we're getting, we don't seem to have as many irate customers.
Because of the meters, it has made our process so much faster. The first time we did it, we were like, are we missing something? Because it was just too easy. It has cut our time in half.
We actually have a little bit more time during the billing time now because we're calling people about leaks. So when we get our list of high usage, low usage, no reads, things like that, we've already kind of got all that information and we're addressing them on a daily basis now rather than having to wait 3 months.
Because of the meters, we're getting more accuracy. So the commercial meters, those are our money makers there, and they have allowed us to gain more revenue because they're being read properly. We surpassed what we were budgeted to bring in. But because of the leak detection, that's another driving factor of why our revenue has gone up and our water loss has gone down. Our water adjustment board is a board, and customers, they can, if they have a water leak, they could put in a request to get a 25% over bulk rate reduction. It's a whole calculation I figure out. And before, because we read quarterly and we could not pinpoint the leak, they would get a discount on their entire bill. They may have had a leak for 1 week, 2 weeks out of 90 days, but because we could not pinpoint that leak, they got a credit or a discount reduction on that entire bill. So some bills were over $1,000. That's a lot of money that the city was losing because we had to give them that reduction over the entire bill. Now it's a little bit more work, but it pays off. Thanks to Reedy, I can go in, see when the leak started, calculate that, see when it ended, figure out what that consumption was just for that time period. And I have my little spreadsheets I created, and I can put it in so they get a reduction only on that leak instead of the whole period.
Seeing the information that is on the graphs and finding out what it really is kind of cool. We've learned when we see a certain pattern on a graph, what that means. We've identified what a sprinkler looks like. We've identified what a pool looks like, people filling pools and sprinkler systems.
I guess just having the knowledge, and I would say the knowledge, the data, the information to present to either council, the customers, us, just to see how things work. It's just really cool. But just hearing the residents and just how grateful and how thankful, thank you so much for helping me. Thank you so much for reaching out. Especially the seniors. I mean, everybody's budget's tight right now, but those who are on a fixed income, just that little bit of help goes a long way, and they're extremely grateful for that. This project really made us come together. It made us work as a better team. Everybody had a part. Every single person in the water department pulled their weight and did a fantastic job and made sure we did everything we could to be a success. And here we are, a year later, and we are down to 14 unchanged meters out of over 5,100.